Action activate.
Here we come. There they go. People rise, 'cause they know we're super soldiers. We got cool clothes. You real soon. You see our pose. Hang shit. Energize. Let's go. Time to ride. Combine. Grease ties.
Hey everybody, it's me, your old lovable chum Gazbot, and I'm here for Action Activate. And if I'm here and it's Action Activate, then with me, as always,
It's me. It's the big dog, Cosmic Dog, today because we're talking about episode 9, Cosmic Fury. We're almost there. We're almost to the end once again.
It's true. It's the end once again because we did review the entire series like the day after it came out, and now we're going back episode by episode.
And if you haven't watched that, watch it after the next review or after this one. To be your own person. Don't listen to us.
I mean, don't listen to us, but also, I don't know. Do you think they should watch this episode review of episode 9 and then go watch the whole season review? Is that really the advice you're giving?
I mean, you know, sometimes you can have cake for breakfast. I'm just saying. So speaking of episode 9,
yes.
what is the name of it?
Oh, I don't know. Let me share the screen, and that'll let us know. Maybe I was hoping you were going to vamp for a second because I wasn't as ready as I. You know, it's a polished thing we do here, but this is a polished.
Yeah, if for some reason this is your
Master
first
Plans.
review, welcome. I don't know how you skipped the first 8, but here you are. But Master Plan is what we were talking all along. So quick kind of impressions of this. Good, obviously, you know, ramping up. A lot of cool stuff happened in this. One of my favorite things and biggest frustrations of the whole season, which has nothing to do with the storytelling whatsoever, happened in this episode.
Oh, let me see. I have notes that I'll go over. I generally like this episode.
It's a great episode.
I think it built well off the last episode, which was like arguably filler. So it didn't just like ignore that. It kind of built on that, and it really moved the plot. It was a good penultimate episode. It definitely was a good like, ooh, okay, what's gonna happen next? It feels like something big's coming and all that. I'm trying to think of what the thing that you disliked the most.
No, it's trivial. I'll tell you. So we're jumping around, by the way. We're not going chronologically. So this is your pre-spoiler warning for anything and everything. We get to see cool Morphin Master Zed, which I'm like, that is one of the
Master
coolest
Zed.
original things I've seen in forever.
Oh.
I'm never getting anything related to it whatsoever, period.
I wouldn't say never, but not anytime soon. And we've talked about this before, but somebody posted recently somewhere on the internet, like, this is everything we got for Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. And it was like 5 items. And it was the base Megazord and like the Morpher and then 2 or 3 roleplay items. And that was it.
Roleplay item with stuff that's not in the show.
No, one was like a lunch bag or something. Yeah, it was very weak. It was almost like, why bother? Maybe there was a contract or they had to do something. I don't know.
And they went, you know what? Instead of making things people would actually want, let's just pump out some random stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So your complaint is about not getting figured. Well, we'll go into that. How much did? Yeah, we really are jumping around. How much did Master Zed remind you of Super Shredder?
A lot, and it's funny because as I'm looking, I'm staring at my Super Shredder right now. I prefer Master Zed over Super Shredder just because I feel like the significance of him is more, and I personally think he looks cooler.
I agree on both those, and I'm a huge Turtles fan, as people know. I agree on both of those counts, and it also makes more sense because Zed is some sort of magical monster being. He gets this Morphin Master power and just becomes like evolved into this new form, where Super Shredder got like mutagen on him, which, okay, made his body bigger, but why did his armor? It just didn't make as much sense.
One thing about this also is I found it very interesting. There's a lot of homages in this, whether intentional or not. At one point, Ion is talking to not Zato, as we find out.
Yeah.
And it was very much The Matrix, Harry Potter. They're very like supernatural, even, I'm sure you could argue. A lot of things that we like.
Hold on. That's Not this episode. That's next episode.
Is it?
Episode 10.
I'm pretty sure it's this episode.
No. Episode 10 starts where Ion is in the big white void about to talk to not Zato.
I thought that was the end of this episode. All right. Well, I'm skipping around, so apologies if I am.
This is why I have notes. So, yeah, I literally had, and this is when we do episode 10. It says, interesting way to start with Zato having blue eyes and the big white screen. That is the first scene of the next episode.
All right. Well, I accidentally skipped ahead, but either way.
Let's keep it in this episode at least.
Yeah. Oh, this episode, finally, and I say finally, kind of intermittently, we get Ollie back to the side of good for real this time.
Yes. And he waited till he was on camera because I was like, the first time I saw it, I kind of didn't think about it too much. Like, oh, he tried to attack and it failed. Well, what was the point of that other than showing he's good? But he waited till they were on camera so he could warn them, like, this is not going to work. But let me warn you. And then he took his shot, literally, like,
Yeah.
So that was cool.
I like his weapon more now. I don't know why, but this episode I really liked it. Whereas other ones, I'm like, it's kind of a thing he has.
Wait, you mean the gun he used in that scene?
The one specific to him, the like tri-speared little blue unique one for him this season.
Did he have that in this episode?
I thought he did. That's like his new
he had lost his Dark Ranger powers, and he didn't get his Cosmic Fury powers for the next episode. So I think once again you're referring to a different episode than the one we're reviewing.
I think that the blaster is not indicative of the power since he's had it in both forms.
Okay. Comment below which one of us is correct. One thing I like too, they cut back and Billy is talking to them once they get that message. Billy explains, I can't help you. I'm busy. The other team, there's stuff going on. All Rangers are busy. Great. Would we have liked to see more cameos? Sure. But they established they exist, and with a line of dialogue, they established why they're not going to be there. Is it a little disappointing? Yes. Am I upset? No. They justified it. Great.
Yeah. Another thing, and we've kind of said, I've said these, it seems like just about every episode, it's so frustrating that so many things that we've critiqued or complained about in previous season reviews are finally getting the attention they deserve and the answers we've suggested. And it's like, and who knows, power just coming back. I mean, whatever, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But maybe that's like when, I'll say when, although it is when Power Rangers comes back, maybe they'll be able to start like this was like, oh, this was the beta test. And now they're going to start from there and build up. And the images are from what we had just talked about already. But one of the things I wanted to mention is that Billy, when he's like, I can't help you, he says, something my old mentor used to say, may the power protect you. Now, that's fan service for MMPR, but it's also setting up events of next episode where you hear that line. And it's like they did a good job of, in case you don't know where this is coming, in case this is the only time you've ever watched it, they're setting things up like that.
Yeah. Kind of looking back, just because this is kind of the last time Billy is directly involved in stuff. Yeah. It really makes you reflect, and I like how he felt like a Sixth Ranger in the sense that he's augmenting the team, but not like previous Sixth Ranger tropes where it's, oh, he's here, cool, we could just chill now. Because the Sixth Rangers here, they're way more powerful, they're going to take care of this problem that we have because reasons.
He was like half Sixth Ranger, half mentor, but not really either.
He was like Man Bear Pig, half Sixth Ranger, half mentor, half OG, you know?
I
was about to say, their Megazord fight was actually relevant and cool, and I cared about it.
And it was in the rain, which was fun, which I'm sure it's not the first time it's happened, but you don't see it very often.
Yeah.
My complaint about this would be, and again, it's not like a real complaint, but this Butler character, severely underused.
Yes.
He's funny when he gets defeated. He's like, I'm sorry. Like, he's just a fun character that I would have liked to have seen more of, and I'm disappointed we didn't.
Agreed. This episode really had a lot of moments of, we saw something of this subject in a previous episode. It was whatever. Like, all of those things, I feel like in this episode were really that, it was refreshing. We had a Zord battle. That was cool, and we cared about it. Cool. Yeah. We had a thing where Billy was on screen, but it didn't need to be all fan service and him morphing and doing a special thing.
Right.
Cool.
We've talked about before when there's guest stars, a lot of times like, hey, we're here, and they morph and that's it. It's nice to have I'd rather have a character interaction between these generations and teams than just a bunch of suit actors fighting like that. If I had to pick between the two, going back to Beast Morphers, when there was that episode with Dr. K and Nate, like I loved that. Did I also love when the Dino Charge Rangers came and started fighting and Mighty Morphin? Yeah. Sure, but like the connection to the characters is more important sometimes.
And also, this episode really solidified the meaning of Power Rangers being generational and seeing that impact, as opposed to being told that impact, harkening back to Beast Morphers, where it's like, you're Jason. Yup, I am. Where this is like, we're actually working together and learning from each other. And I've been around, but I don't know everything. I'm still learning, and you got it. And here's the inspiration you need, and blah, blah, blah. Like, it was good. Everything about this was good. I enjoyed it. That's a great shot.
Yeah, it is. I also enjoyed the a lot of the humor. Almost all of the jokes landed for me. There was one here where Amelia says something like, "Oh, we better make the Ultra Zord," and then Zato's like, "Ha, you must be Rafconian because you read my mind." And it's so dumb, but I loved it. I'm like, yeah, okay, good, do it. And it was Zato, so of course I like when he does stuff.
Another thing, I think there was only one joke you and I actively groaned at, and everything else has been great.
Yeah, I don't even know what joke that was. Ollie and
Slider not this episode, just the season.
Oh no, yeah, the comedy has been very on point. It's been very good. And some of it is kind of juvenile, but not stupid. Be young, but not stupid.
Very finger gun humor.
Yes, yeah, a little bit corny, but in a charming way.
Yeah.
I like the little banter back here. Oh, this cool hallway fight scene.
Yeah.
This was cool. And not something you see a very lot in Power Rangers. Like maybe a little bit in space here or there, but like this definitely felt like they're like, let's have a big fight in a hallway and make it cool. And
now this shot, hold right here. This actually makes Zato's costume look kind of cool.
Right, because there's smoke and blur and lighting, and he's in the background. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Anyways, a fun point of contention for you. Good stunt there. Yeah, overall, kind of moving past this. We got Ollie back. Everything here's cool.
They find out they've won, but there's a bomb that's set, and there's a timer. And Slider says, "A countdown to destruction." Yeah,
finger guns, baby, finger guns.
Yeah, I'm there for it.
Yeah, really like. I'm not trying to rush through this, but this just makes me want to talk about 10 a lot, so that's why I'm like, and then everything's in peril, and we'll have to find out next time.
I have 2 pages of notes for this. I have 3 pages of notes for 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they realize, they're going to blow it all up. How are we going to stop it? We can't get out of here. Zato's got to use the last of his morphin magic. And it's like, come on. And Zato's like, sorry, buddy, got to do it. And so he blows, I guess he just essentially blows a big hole in the building so they could get out. Also, this Lord Zed castle, it reminds me of Rita's palace, but it's not the same, right?
Yeah.
But is it a reference to something, or is it just a new castle?
To be honest, the more I looked at it, the more it looks like a Bowser castle than a Rita castle.
Well, yeah, but I don't think it's supposed to be Mario. But like, I just didn't know if I was missing a reference there, or if it was just something they made up.
Nah, maybe it's a little bit of both. I don't know. For this, like, if I had to describe this episode in one sentence, it would be payoffs with stakes that matter.
Okay. And connective tissue to the past and the future.
Boom. And that was our haiku for the day.
There you go. So Zato's leaving, and you can see his soul like leaving his body, and Ion's like, nope, I'm going with you. And then Ion collapses, and they're like, well, we don't have time to deal with this. Let's take his stuff. Maybe we could use it. Slider has a lot of good lines in this, because they say something like we got to help him. You're a doctor. And he's like, I'm a doctor of circus. Which is like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, again, like the bittersweetness, and we talked about this in our full season review when it was a little more fresh, is just, God, it's so good. Finally, at the end.
Yeah. And that's sort of what happened with In Space, but we didn't get any last minute reprieve, because it was like this truncated Netflix just putting it out there. Not
also like, after In Space, it's not like it tanked. Everything after In Space was still good. It's just In Space was a plateau for a while.
That was the thing where they had more freedom to do whatever, because it was the last season. And then because of that, and it did well, it kept going. This is similar, like maybe because they had the freedom to do more because it was ending. But unlike in space, we didn't announce next season happening.
Yeah. Hoping for the best, expecting no news from Hasbro.
Javi's like, hey, let's combine all our weapons. I'm Billy all of a sudden. And then when they leave, Solon's like, hey, that Morpher's glowing.
Wait a minute. Is that the weapon I just talked about not long ago?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
So you think that weapon he used in his Dark Ranger form and his new Ranger form, or is it just his Dark Ranger form?
No, it's the same.
So even though the towers were destroyed and lost, that weapon carries over. You're right, I guess, but that is just laziness. It shouldn't.
No, it makes sense because they have established from Dino Fury that their weapons can be used without being tied directly to Morphin powers.
Right, but in Dino Fury, they had, and in this too, they have the base or the ship where they're like stored there and they draw them from their base. Where did he get this from? The Triceratops statue was destroyed. He wasn't on Zed's ship.
He brought it with him when they teleported.
Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong, and you could have the Ninja Steel point. I just don't like it. I don't like the way they did that.
I think it's fine. But yeah, right now, gearing up, getting ready. That throne's awesome.
Yes.
We're never getting it, but
it's a little
cool.
bit squiddy. I just realized now that because the squid people made it, so it's like squid tentacles.
Yeah. One actual complaint I have, and you and I disagreed on this, I don't like the weird alien interview guy that they have. I think he doesn't fit, and he's kind of out of nowhere.
I'm not defending him as great, but I didn't hate him. I like this joke about how he makes an N, not a Z.
So cool.
It is. I mean, it's moddable. You could take a base Z and put a bunch of stuff on it and like lengthen the. It's not for you or me, but someone switch the laundry later. What were we didn't get to that part yet, but yeah, that guy he definitely has. I wrote my notes and I probably said this originally. He has like a big bad Beetleborgs vibe or something. Yeah. Very. Yeah. I don't love him, but it doesn't bother me because it's someone affiliated with her. And they've set up that they're these sort of like reality TV mogul people, which actually occurs to me. It's a little bit of a missed opportunity that didn't cross over with the Galactic, the Ninja Steel villain.
Ninja Steel, yeah.
Yeah, and they even had Campbell Cooley who could have done Cosmo, like he did. Yeah, why not have him do another character?
Different strokes, man.
Yeah. So then we find out Ollie can still morph. And Zed's like, yeah, I don't care. And they build this cosmic blaster, which it's been a while, hasn't it, since they had a combining blaster? I'm trying to remember. Correct. They didn't do that in Ninja Steel, right? And they didn't do it in Beast Morphers.
Yeah, Ninja Steel, nobody had unique weapons. Beast Morphers, I
don't remember it happening. A Dino Fury, they didn't do it, right? Or did they?
No, Dino Fury, they didn't. Everybody just had swords.
I know they did in Dino Charge. Dino Charge, they had some kind of combining blaster. Is that the last one before this? Well, put it this way: whether it was or whether it wasn't, I think ending with a combining weapon is a good choice because again, homage to
it's unique, and we're never getting it.
Right, that's true. But it doesn't do anything because it's Lord Zed. But I also like that Javi says time to escalate, which again is a throwback to like the first episode when Zordon's like, don't escalate you have to let them escalate. So they call the Zords and Zed just like, nope. This is like Duck Hunt. Here you go. He calls out Dark Spectre, a little fan service, the throwback. Yeah, Dark Spectre can see me now. And they start shooting at him and Zed's invincible. And it's just like, there's no hope here.
Yeah.
And then who comes up with the idea to trap Zed? Because like, we can't beat him.
One of them does. I don't remember.
Ollie or Amelia. But yeah, but it doesn't matter because it's a betrayal because Squidrill, what's their name? Bazillion, Squiddly Biddly, and Scrozzle betray Zed and trap them in the same device they used to siphon the energy off the Morphin Masters, which was her plan all along, which I love. I love the villains betraying each other. I love different factions. So that was really cool. And then the Sentinels pick up the blaster and the Rangers like, they can't use that, right? They're like, no, of course not. And then they do. So obviously that was there for comedic
effect. Told you he was there.
What?
The big bad Beetleborgs not reporter guy?
Yes. I didn't say he wasn't. I thought
you said he was only in the next episode.
I said he comes later. meaning later this episode. You were talking
Anyways, keep it going.
Well, my question is, they made a joke that like the Sentinels can't use it, but so I guess putting into canon, you don't have to be a ranger channeling the morphing energy into it. They charge it up and it's ready to go, and that's it. And anybody could pick it up and use it.
Well, this goes back to what I said. It's not tied to the ranger power, so it's just a thing that can be used.
Yeah, but then how do they charge? I guess it doesn't need to charge up. Just anybody could use it. But
it's just a weapon that happens to be themed with their ranger motif.
What? I don't remember what this guy's name is. What do you like so much about him? Is it the face, the hair, the jacket, the character?
Forgettable suit man.
I don't love him. I'm not defending him, but he doesn't feel that far out of place with the characters they've established.
He seems more like something you would get out of Mighty Morphin due to budget constraints, and not next to this really cool looking squid creature.
I'll give you that one. Sure. I also like how they talk about the Z wave. It's another Z wave because it was Zordon, now it's Zed, and it's evil. And they address that, and she's like, "No, this is different. We copyright this. This is ours. Get out of here!" Like, and again, it's one of those things where like it is an homage. They are paying tribute, which is fine, but also by calling it out makes it, they know what they're doing, and they know
they're self-aware, which I like.
And Scrozzle does his Zed impression, and I think that's the end of my notes here, baby.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. To be continued in episode 10. Yeah, good stuff. I love the Sentinel constantly holding the boom mic during all of this. That part was funny to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Bittersweet. Like I said, the next one is the last one.
Final. Yeah, and there was definitely, and I feel like this at the end of almost every show, but especially Power Rangers, because they're generally episodic, and then you get to the end, like, and all of a sudden, like, those episodes really matter. This one has been better because it was shorter and it wasn't built that way. But I definitely felt like this was a really good second to last episode. But I'm like, I hope the next episode's like extra long or something. Like, it just feels like we're gonna wrap all this up in like 20-30 minutes. Okay,
And they did.
Did they do a good job? Find out next time. No, don't say no.
They already watched the previous review. Come on. Everybody watching this has watched every video we've ever put out, and they saw our season recap before going episodic, clearly.
Until next time, I've been Gazbot.
Still the big dog, and to the power. Whoop!
Power, and I will put on some end credits right about now. I'm good to record the other one right now, but I have to feed my cats in between because they're like meowing at the door really hard. They literally are knocking on the door.
How long do you need?
5 minutes? 7 minutes.
Sure.
Okay. And for those playing along at home, I'm actually not going to be here next week. So even though we're recording 2 right now, the next one won't be up for a week. So this way you don't miss a week, but you don't get 2 in 1 week. And it should just be normal for you. Normal for you.
We'll look the same, but different. More height.
I will look the same, but with an air of someone who has fed cats.
I will look the same with somebody who's got more hype.
I'll do the whole thing like that. All right, welcome.
Welcome to episode 10 of Action Activates.
Put the muscle in my neck to it.